I do think, Nick, that I think it's going to get done, but I think that could be something holding it up.
According to our Adrian Wojnarowski, Kevin Durant's manager, Rich Kleiman, has told him that Kevin Durant has requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets.
Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, you really made the media look like some fools here.
God, please take me away from this earth.
This is because if you guys haven't heard the news, the Nets and Kevin Durant with his agent, Rich Kleiman, have met and they have decided to run it back, and he is staying in Brooklyn. As of now, it seems like all the controversy they had with the Nets and Kevin Durant not wanting Sean Marks and Steve Nash there, seems like it's water under the bridge, or they're prioritizing basketball and winning a championship, which is what they should do. Because if you guys haven't seen the Nets roster, or what the Nets roster will look like for next year, here it is. They have a pretty stacked team. As you can tell, they have made additions with TJ Warren and Royce O'Neal, but the point is, with an opted-in Kyrie, a hungry Durant for a championship, and a quote-unquote motivated Ben Simmons, a lot of media sources and people in general have the Nets projected as a top 3 team in the East and one of the favorites to get out of the East. But I'm here to tell you it's more than that. I'm here to tell you why the Brooklyn Nets will be named 2023 NBA champions. Everyone, if you've made it to this point in the video, I would really appreciate if you do like and subscribe. We are so close to 400 subscribers, man, and I've been pumping out videos like crazy recently. So all you guys gotta do is just smack the shit out of those 2 buttons. Simple, man. Let's get into this. So let's start with what this team has accomplished. Nah, I'm just kidding, because all that matters right now is the present. Forget the past and all the failures and all the championship aspirations. Throw that all out the window, especially if you're a Nets fan. I mean, I'm sure you kind of want to forget that. But yo, enough with this down talk, man. I'm sure you guys saw earlier how many changes the Nets have made. Very good changes in my opinion. People who know how to win. And it builds kind of a different culture, which is the #1 thing they're lacking, and the fact that they don't really play at all. Yeah, maybe that could have something to do with it too, just a little bit. I mean, I wasn't gonna get into this first, but let's talk about culture and what culture means. You think NBA, who has the most winningest culture? I mean, 2 teams that come to mind to me are the San Antonio Spurs and the Miami Heat. Maybe not recently, right? But these 2 franchises have established themselves as first-class organizations for a while. Like, this shit matters in the NBA. As we've seen in previous years and all the super teams that have failed to win, you can't just put players on the team with limited chemistry, by the way, and just expect to win a championship. Maybe sometimes that works, but no team will eclipse the Warriors' greatness, which Kevin Durant was on, right? He had the perfect pieces around him, and we've seen problems with the Nets, such as defense, which we will get into later. But the point is, you can't just win an NBA championship. It takes everything to win one. Everyone's got to be on the same page, including the organization, including the players. I don't even care, even to the fucking people that are cleaning the arena. Everyone has to be locked in and winning a championship if you're capable, and that's what you want to do. And the Nets have been capable, obviously, for the last 3-4 years. They have the talent. So that's really my first point, the culture, and another word that could be used here is an identity. The Nets, believe it or not, I thought they found their identity about a year or 2 ago when they searched for players such as Blake Griffin. They had somewhat of a defensive identity when they had James Harden on the team too. They weren't horrific defensively, not as horrific as they are now, in my personal opinion. Yo, so point 2 is I'm going to be talking about the new additions to the Brooklyn Nets and who they lost. The biggest loss was probably Bruce Brown, who did start in the playoffs. As you've seen, he had a few good games, but I'm going to be honest, guys. Who gives a shit? What people don't realize is even if these additions aren't the best quality players, just listen right here. Royce O'Neal is 6'6", 6'7". TJ Warren is 6'8", 6'9". Ben Simmons is 6'10". 3 tall forwards, unlike Bruce Brown and Goran Dragic, who they also lost. Brooklyn will most likely not run 3 guards at the same time, is because they can't. You know Steve Nash can't coach. and he just ran 3 guards the whole time against Boston, and they were pretty much just shooting over cones. No wonder they fucking lost, and they almost won 2 or 3 of those games, right? But let me get into these new additions and why they're so key for the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, let's see Royce O'Neal, right? Started on Utah, has a lot of playoff experience because Utah was the #1 seed for a bit. Maybe not the most offensively gifted player, but do you really think that's what Brooklyn needs? No, this man is a dog, taller than Bruce Brown, can probably shoot a bit better than Bruce Brown. Maybe not better overall for Bruce Brown, but he is way better for the Brooklyn Nets and will contribute to their success in the future. And next, I don't even need to say much about TJ Warren. If you guys forgot who TJ Warren was in the NBA bubble, dropping 50, I think it was on the Heat, Jimmy Butler and all that, and the last time we saw TJ Warren play a full season, he averaged 19.8 points in 67 games. And if you guys think that was a fluke, he did that for pretty much 3-4 seasons in a row, and he can start on any NBA team possible. Another reason on why these pickups are so good is because we know Ben Simmons and Durant mostly plays about 60 games minimum, but you do see he gets injured sometimes. He's not the most durable and may want to save those last few games for the playoffs. So when Durant and Ben Simmons are out, because we don't know what Ben Simmons is going to be like either, TJ Warren is a quality starter that could easily win games with Kyrie Irving, and Joe Harris coming back as well. So you're telling me Kyrie, Joe Harris, TJ Warren, and you could say Nicholas Claxton and whoever the power forward is won't win games in the regular season? Stop it. And part of the reason why the Nets didn't do too well last year is because they finished 7th, a very low seed in which they fought in via the play-in too, and thus having to face Boston first round with all these question marks, haven't seen what the team is like in the playoffs, all these different lineup changes, it just didn't work out, and they were competitive at least in some of those games. I know they got swept, but from what I saw, the Superstars had the worst series of probably their careers, and they almost won 2 of those games. So that's really my second point. I can break down the Boston series in another video if you guys want, but the point is, the team that's coming back aren't just 3 or 4 good players who they re-signed Claxton and Mills to. They are taller players that can actually gel with the lineup and guard some of the higher end superstars in the league like Jason Tatum. You won't be putting someone who's 6 inches smaller at all times, such as a Dragic or even a Kyrie Irving, Bruce Brown. All that is going to go, and they will have quality defenders such as TJ Warren, Ben Simmons, not to mention Kevin Durant, who has guarded guards like Trae Young and Jrue Holiday. He is capable of that. That's what makes him so great. So having 2-3 other wingmen that can help, man, the Nets defense, I would not be surprised if they are a top 10 defensive team in the league by the end of next year. Remember that. Hey guys, I don't want to make this video too long, like I've expressed some of my points now, but of course we need to see this team play first before I go all out, and I definitely will make more videos on this subject when they do play. Like, man, Brooklyn was first in the standings last year before Kevin Durant went down, even without Kyrie in a lot of those games, because that's when they found out about the vaccination. But yeah guys, you can write it down, call it, even with all the drama going on with Brooklyn right now, I think they will find a way to get through it, just because all the reasons I listed in this video, and I'm calling it right now. The Brooklyn Nets will be named 2023 NBA champions. I know you guys can say whatever you want. Comment down below if you guys agree with me. But anyways, that's really all for me. I'll see you guys. Peace.